Yay.
Right, we have got our weekly favourite chat with Janine, Tarot by Janine, and Rachel. And we're really pleased to have you back in time for our chat because you've had an epic busy week, haven't you, Janine? Even more busy than normal.
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, well done for fitting that in.
Yeah.
How's everything, before we get started, how is everything with you, where you're living and everything? What's happening in your world?
In Calgary?
Yeah.
Well, just as I was leaving BC, they shut it down with hours notice. For some reason, they shut down BC, the restaurants. It went, and nobody knew it was coming. So they gave them hours to shut everything down. So that I'm going to read about that on Sending Ravens after this chat.
Wow.
Because that was very strange. What was that about? And Alberta is threatening to do the same, and it's just for a certain amount of days, basically over Easter. So they're basically shutting down Easter gatherings around Easter. It's very interesting. And again, my initial feeling was this is all wake ups. This is a wake ups. This is a big wake up call. Yeah.
Wow, because we've just opened up partly, and it's so funny how exciting it is. It's hysterical to me. I don't know if you've seen it, Rachel. I've been driving around quite a bit because I've had quite a few meetings, and suddenly, because everyone's been told they're allowed out, and quite a lot of the children they've only just gone back to school, the children. They've only been back at school a couple of weeks, and now they've broken up for a couple of weeks of Easter break. And it coincided where we've actually had 2 sunny days in a row in the UK, and that's quite an achievement here. So we all celebrate, and that's why we're all looking so happy. But it's funny, it's like everyone's just gone mad hitting the parks, and it just makes me laugh because it's like, oh, suddenly you've been told as an adult that you're allowed out, so off you go. So it's a weird feeling, isn't it, Rachel? Don't you think, here at the moment?
Yeah, I suppose it either changes for people, and I think the general consensus is that loads more cars on the road. I mean, really, life hasn't changed for me because we all know that this is just a phase and a different reality, a different timeline to everybody else's. So I haven't really taken notice of all the rules, and I've been chased by the police a couple of times doing some leafleting and trying to help people wake up.
Yeah. Oh, good for you.
Yeah. I must say, everyone's been very nice to me. I'm still the only person anywhere around us that I ever see without a mask. Now, there obviously are. This is going to be one of our questions. There are others there, but I don't ever seem to find any of them. But what I would say is, first of all, everyone's really nice about it. Don't get any hassle at all. In fact, people are stopping asking me when I go in now about, have you got a mask? They just don't ask me. I just walk in. So that's interesting. But the other thing, I have personally had quite a bit of success about the cure with people that might have had the first cure, but have now had second thoughts about having the second cure. And that, for me, I've noticed a shift, which is really, really, I'm taking every little positive as a huge sign. So I'm very happy about that.
Good.
Yeah. So my first, into the exciting then, because we want to make the most of your time. So I'm going to ask, first of all, Janine, if it's all right, about the Evergreen ship again. So the latest I've heard, but obviously I'm only hearing this on the mainstream news, so we don't know if it's true. I have heard that it's in Anchor at, what's it called? The Great Bitter Lake. Now, what a name for a lake, the Great Bitter Lake, and it's being inspected. So can we ask again what's happening with the Evergreen, and is that true? And are the cards going to give us any clue about who's inspecting it? Very odd name, isn't it? The Great Bitter Lake.
That is really weird.
Very odd.
Okay, so they weren't expecting it to be inspected. Like the people themselves are coming up. There's a lot of hidden things and dysfunction. So they definitely, this wasn't something they were hoping to not be inspected, obviously. The Wheel of Fortune. So it's destined, it was destined to be, so the whole operation seemed to be about getting it to be inspected. Regardless how long it was stuck there, it wasn't about the being stuck, it was more about getting attention, getting all the, everybody looking into the name of it, looking into, think about how it all just blew up and everybody's been investigating the heck out of, and then looking for other evergreen vehicles and the things that are happening with those in the world. Like it's just really all just a focus to get attention, and for the good guys to get attention on this thing. And also all the stories over the years, a whole bunch of stories have been recirculating about people found in containers, by the way. I read several stories about it and people sharing them. Also, it came up that, do you guys remember Dexter, the TV series, Netflix? He was a fellow, he was a psychopathic person, like he was a serial killer in the series. And he'd been trafficked. So this backstory of him was he'd been trafficked and he was rescued out of a container by a police officer. So in the series, and this was many years ago, I watched the series, at least 4 or 5 years ago. It was a very popular series. And he would only target, we'll call it target, he was a serial, and he would only target people that were harming children, we'll say, right? So because he'd been trafficked as a child. This was the backstory of Dexter. And then he was actually really popular, like people that you couldn't help but like him, actually, even though he was a psychopath.
Well, I like him already.
Right? He was really smart too. Anyway, so he ended up a police person or an investigator or whatever, and he would investigate these crimes, and then he would go after the killer, but on his off time, we'll just say. He would go after the bad guys and do his own deeds to the bad guys. But anyway, they showed a scene, and people are recirculating this, where evergreen, so a big container with that word on exactly, was being searched, and he went in and searched, and sure enough, they found trafficked children in this container. This was in one of the scenes.
Wow.
And it brought back his memories, flashbacks of him as a child being rescued by a police officer as a trafficked child. So how do you like that? And this series is years ago, and they were already talking about evergreen containers containing trafficked children.
Wow.
You can't make this up. It's been around for years. It's like this plan has been around for years. The 16+1 letter of the alphabet's been talked about it in 2017. Evergreen, and watch this, the waters and blah, blah, blah. They've been talking about, this has all been planned. So anyway, but this people on the container, or the people that are in charge of this ship, they're surprised by this search, and there will be children found. It looks like some of them have already been taken off of there.
Wow.
And a lot of people, because that's a children card, and that's the wheel or the fool. So I think they've been freed. Some of them have already been freed, but there's disappointment too. So some of them weren't found, maybe living. People are saying that ship with the big crosses on it, I can't remember what it's called, is headed there or has already been there. So they're saying that was probably the rescue ship sent by the US to, like, it's a big hospital ship.
Wow.
So there's all kinds of stories. I think they already took some of these kids off, the ones that are living. I think it's an ongoing process, what's going on. So I think that's true, what you heard.
I think for me, there's been such a shift over the last week in terms of disclosure, because we've seen obviously a lot of people talking about that for various different reasons. So it's in all the news for even the people that aren't of the believers, so to speak. They're still talking about that. And then there's been quite a lot in the news about Ghislaine Maxwell, and there's quite a lot in the news about a certain one of the cures that's made in England. So we're starting to see a lot more going on, and I know we home in on them, but it's really delightful to see. So yeah, and sending lots of love and prayers for anyone involved.
About every fourth thing that I see on Instagram, on my Instagram, is truthers putting out the kind of stuff I put out on Instagram. I found that fascinating. Before, I was the only one that I could see. You go through all these silly cat videos and nothing serious, and then my stuff would come up and nobody would comment. Now I get probably 80 comments per, and tons more people are putting stuff up, memes, all the same stuff I'm circulating. So I'm feeling really good about this.
I just keep getting banned off Facebook because all my posts just keep deleted. I've got to get someone to teach me how to use Instagram properly, because I don't really know how to use it. But can I just say, before we move on to Rachel, massive congratulations to you, Janine. You've gone over 50,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Very, very well deserved. Yeah, because everyone just loves it. So uplifting.
Yes, they love you. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's the way that they relate to you as well, Janine, because I think you're quite straight talking. You know, you don't beat around any kind of bush, which is fantastic, you know, and that's exactly how people need to hear it. And
I'm not very polite for a Canadian, eh?
No, it's wonderful. I like it. You know, I think lots of people do. Yeah, because the truth is, you know, it is quite horrific. So yeah, but on to the next question. So thank you. The financial reset.
Yeah.
Assuming it's the good guys that are actually going to be deploying this. So we've got a lot of companies have their new financial year on the 1st of April. And there are talks of it happening on the 1st of April. Is it possible to ask the cards if the public will be told? Is it going to kind of happen in the kind of underground underscene, as everything seems to have been mostly, apart from the ship? But yeah, it would be great to see.
Oh boy. Okay, so it already happened. It's already done, like something's already, like it's been put into motion for sure. Wow. The Fool, but we're not everybody's aware of it. So there's a lot of people that aren't aware of it. Right. It would be 80% done on already. So in other words, ready to launch publicly. A lot of people do know about it already though. So there's been lots of info dropped about it. Well, we know about it, we all know, but we got this card in the near future. There's going to be either denial or some kind of glitch or some kind of, so there's going to be a last attack or an attack by the dark side, the black hats, the other people that are getting taken down because of this, right? There's going to be, and they're going to put out misinformation, so be careful. There's going to be, they're going to try to make it look bad. They're going to do a smear campaign, and they have been. There's lots of misinformation. I'm considering at this point, and I'm just going to be controversial and say, I'm thinking there's some people out there, and I don't usually speak out, but I'm thinking that Kim woman is misinformation. I don't trust her. So there's a whole bunch, and she's saying everybody we think is the right information is misinformation. So we're going to get this. There's going to be a divide because of this team says this and this team says that. So we're going to have to just use our intuition and weigh it out what we believe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of, there's a big campaign, smear campaign for it. It's almost going to be like they're going to try to make it look like the bad one when it's the good one. Mm. So the good one's launched already. We got the ACES. So it's already been, it's out. It's just, will the general public know about it? Well, some of them will and some of them won't. Mm. But there's going to be an assault here. And I've seen it already happening.
Well, there's a huge assault, full stop anyway, on any kind of mainstream media that's constantly going on. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if if it's already rolled off. I think also all the ship and the shipping container, etc., is almost a catalyst to all this happening as well. I think that's, yeah. Ooh.
I asked for some timing around when does the general population know about it? This is my June card. It'll be a lot clearer in June. Had been running already, but won't be able to be repressed by June.
Wow. Okay.
So, it's already going. It's happening. This was in the past. It's a thing. It's real.
Yay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Amazing. That is really wonderful news.
So based on that, and I haven't asked you, Rachel, but if you're happy, I'm going to change my question. So based on what Janine's just said there, a lot of us have all been thinking, and along that this financial reset is the catalyst to the nasty diseasey word going away. So can I just ask whether that means that by June the veil will be lifted and all the restrictions will go globally? Does that make sense? It's a bit difficult when you're talking in code. So by June, will we be able to get on a plane and get back to our lives and take the masks off and not be
7 weeks, it says.
7 weeks? Right, let me get my calendar out. 7 weeks. 8.
Wow.
It'll be
Yes, that's by June then. Yeah.
for 7. Yeah, and they're working on it. Something else happens before that that'll push it a long ways too. So I don't even think that a lot of places will have woken up even before that. I think that's the outside number. When you're saying when everything kind of, now we can travel and stuff, but I think there'll be degrees of, they won't be able to get away with it because this is what's going on right now. So things are coming out constantly here. People are starting to even fess up. We're going to get, this looks like some politicians, high up politicians are even going to finally throw in the towel and say, okay, we're not doing this anymore. I even think we're going to get some of that before.
I think Boris is going to do that. I think Boris is going to do. So we saw today, didn't we, Rachel, that some news that the Brussels court has sentenced the Belgian government to stop all the diseasey thing measures within 30 days or face big fines. So this is the start, isn't it? I'm hoping that snowball.
I'm thinking it's June is the outside of when you bitter end of it. I think a whole bunch of things happen even before that.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so, because I think a lot of people have had enough of this scenario. But if I count 7 weeks, it says the 19th of May.
Yeah, that would be even better. That's
even better.
Yeah,
even better. Yeah,
a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's all starting to fall into place now, and I think if every single person who's watching this puts a lot of positive energy in terms of visualizing us bringing these timelines forward as much as possible, then
absolutely
we
can influence it big time, can't we?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Fantastic. A third question. Okay, so there's quite a few prolific, really good, I suppose, reporters speaking the truth. Alex Belfield, actually, in the UK, is one who has been harassed left, right, and centre. He worked for the BBC, but he's been doing loads of, I suppose, very short clips of what's happening in the UK. And he was arrested, I think, is it 4 times? Something ridiculous, and strip searched and all that lovely stuff.
Is he the redhead?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That guy's a riot. Oh, I love him.
He's fantastic,
isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. He's quick, sharp, and
love it. Yeah.
Very much like him. And I think his subscribers are huge as well. Yeah. But in terms of kind of the police, and the state of this country, I'd really like to ask the question of, are the police you know, thinking or starting to move into the right side, as in the white hats, the good hats. From what we've seen so far, that they are the baddies at the moment, the ones that are still left.
Oh my goodness, this is, yes, so yes, so moving very quickly in unison with, so they've already been sat down, and this was in the past. So the Alliance and the White Hats are in control of the UK. I get that all the time. Okay, so they've been given, I think, they've been told to move over to the positive, or they will be quickly, because this is now, they've made an agreement to move in the other direction to the positive.
Wow.
Okay, and you'll see it, especially in the next 3, that could be days, hours, days, or weeks. 3, and then this justice. So we're going to start to see the justice, and I know we've been talking about that for a long time, but I really think this is absolutely coming. This is real. And in fact, can I just bring this thing up, you guys, that I just watched before I came here, and I really encourage all your viewers to go on. What's that fellow's name? Venom.
Oh, Nicholas.
Nicholas. Okay. He had Mickey Clan, Klann on there, an astrologer, just a brilliant and truther. And she's done her homework, and she linked, and she's not necessarily a really religious person. She's spiritual, but not religious. And she linked everything that's gone on, even pre-Trump getting into the race and being elected and whatever. She linked it all to the book of Revelations and things that were going on astrologically, because actually the book of Revelations follows the things that are going on in the sky exactly. Wow. Incredible. So she links it all together and takes us right to now, including the Evergreen ship, or the Ever Given ship owned by Evergreen, and all that incident. And it's all biblical, and not necessarily in a religious way. It's a spiritual, because we get religion and the Bible confused. I know that sounds weird, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, completely.
Right. So the bigger historical sort of understanding of what they're saying in the Bible, in the book of Revelations in particular, she links it all to what happened, and brings it right up to date. And I can't stress it enough how she put it so together, and I did some cards on it, and she's right on. Michael Jaco also had her on, and she was brilliant on there. So she's sort of new on the scene to me. Maybe you guys have seen her. No. But she's kind of new on the scene, and boy, has she done her homework. So I highly recommend going to either Michael Jaco with her on it. That, I think that's Rumble maybe, or BitChute, I'm not sure. But you couldn't have watched her on YouTube likely, because she gets really specific about some things that you probably can't say on YouTube. But Rumble or BitChute for either Michael Jaco with her, or go look at this Nicholas.
Yeah.
His show with her. Incredible.
Fantastic.
Wow.
God, I just can't say it. It's quite emotional, all this, isn't it? Because it just feels so right, and so that this really is starting to happen. And
she even lays it out that this last few months would be a really dark time based in astrology, and that we feel like we're just groping around in the dark, which it literally feels like. It's just, but literally April blows it all, lights it all up again. So I loved what she said, because I could completely feel all the stages she was talking about. It made complete sense to me. I was thrilled.
Absolutely. I think I remember a couple of months ago reading, it's either a dark 2021 winter or it's a dark century. And I think I'd rather have a dark winter.
Yes.
Leave them to do their things, and I suppose get the plan sorted, and roll this out properly without as many casualties as possible. And I think that's really what they've been concerned about. And that's what's come up so many times in your readings, Janine.
Gosh, that's just amazing. So my next question, all leading on from the same things, is Big Pharma, are they near to being exposed? Because I've seen some brilliant interviews recently. I can't remember that chap's name. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't remember people's names. But the chap that works in the industry and is very pro treatments, and he's come out and he's made a plea to the World Health Organization to have these open talks quickly. And again, there's a lot more exposure starting to be seen in certain areas in that industry. So are they about to be exposed? Because to me, you know, moving forward as a society, this is a really important part of it. I'm sorry for my friends that work in that industry.
Wasn't Vernon Coleman, was it?
No.
Oh, yeah. So again, there's our 80%. So they're working on it, and this is coming full circle. So that would be the exposure. They're so close here, and probably a lot of things have come out. We've got strength in the past. So they got so much goods on Big Pharma. I mean, you'd have to be almost kind of thick not to already have figured out they're the bad guys. Honestly, like, I can't even be friends with people anymore who don't see it. Like, if you're defending Big Pharma and the government right now for everything you're seeing, you can't be that smart. We can't be friends. And I'm not even intellectually inclined. Like, I'm not even that smart myself, but it's like, I figured that out. Come on, you guys. So we've got the Six of Pentacles, So everything's working itself out. So it's all like, all of this stuff's planned to come out, but this is the near future outcome. People are still not going to believe it. Some people we're still going to have people hanging on because they don't want to be wrong.
Wow.
They don't want to be, look like they've been duped. So you're going to have the people doing it anyway, or getting involved no matter how much truth comes out about it. Like, it's unbelievable. So that, you know, you're going to have to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we're going to have to let some people like be silly.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
We can't drag everybody kicking and screaming.
No.
To, you know, see the light sort of thing. We can't. Yeah. So it's basically like, follow your heart, do what you can. This card doesn't, you know, sacrifice itself for others, but it does what it can and moves on. So I ask for advice. Do what you can and move on, because there's going to be people even mad at you or mad at the exposure.
Well,
nurses, and, you know, because they've been the people that are in the industry of Big Pharma, they're going to be feeling like guilty and embarrassed, and or they don't want to feel guilty and embarrassed, so they're going to defend it. You know,
well, there's people that devoted their whole life to this, and I suppose it's like all the areas that we've been talking about, there's some really good people caught in a really bad system.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's tough for people, and even the users and everything, you know, where people have been on medications all their life and things like that, that's going to hit really hard, but luckily hopefully there'll be a lot of support there for people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was really annoyed with the whole system when I found out. It was 6 years ago now, and Catherine introduced me to a natural life. But I couldn't believe it, you know, going to see consultants and things, and how much they understood, and they were Googling, you know, natural things that, you know, should just be second nature to us, you know, that have been quashed as you know, woo-woo or whatever you call it. And yeah, it's such a shame. And you know, things like what you're doing now, you know, that's been quashed as well. There's just so much in this world that is just so, everything is upside down. It is just literally upside down, isn't it? There's no other way of explaining it.
Like, I'll just say this. Okay, if you look at okay, this feels really personal, so I'm just gonna say it anyway, but like if you look around my family, the healthiest financially right now, healthiest in almost every way is, you're looking at her. They might not agree and they might be mad at me for saying that, but it's true. And the one that, when she's in bad situations, in bad marriages, gets the heck out of them. So yeah, I'm single, but who cares? I'm happy. Having the best time in life, guess what, is the one everyone's saying is the dummy in the family. Okay, so it's like, I'm the crazy one. I'm the one they're going to go to for help, and the one that's always right about everything, but I'm crazy right now.
Yeah.
Most successful, keeping my health, don't even ever go to doctors, like go to healers, natural healers. That's what I do. So I'm crazy though. I'm the one.
Yeah, we're all crazy in this group then, in that sense. I think
and you know, we wouldn't have it any other way. I love all my crazy friends, and they're the best, and I want to be in that crazy gang.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And
they've got a big shock coming, haven't they? Goodness me.
And
if they listen, they do.
Too much, but can we gloat a little bit? Not too much, but a little bit. So
told you so.
Yeah. Oh dear. And then I'll spiritually forgive myself for that afterwards. Yeah. So oh wow, thank you. This is so good. Every Wednesday night, I tell you what, I'm on a high. I woke up in a really I made the mistake of what everyone says that you shouldn't do. Wake up in the morning and look at your phone straight away. And I'm on a particular group of friends that are really lovely. I love them. And all the messages were like, oh, things are coming out, numbers are going down, and now everyone's taking the cure. We're all going to be okay. And I was just so angry to see it. I was just like, every single one of them. And these are really switched on ladies and everything. And I was just like, just give up. And then, so I took a couple of hours off work and I took all my horses out for a walk. And by the time I came back, after being with my horses in nature, everything was fine. Yeah. So
does it. Yeah.
Thank you, horses. And I'm coming off that WhatsApp group.
I was just going to say, leave.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so just on the subject of people being awake, actually, is it at all possible to ask the question to the cards? I'm being very hopeful that around about 10% of the UK population is awake. And I'd like to ask if that is true, or is that kind of wishful thinking at the moment? So love it if it was 10%. Honestly, it would just
might be more.
Okay, it's about to get exponentially bigger.
Ooh.
So that's a huge revelations coming that brings a whole bunch more on board.
Wow.
Okay, I think you're right, because this is answering the question, which are really, really positive cards. I think you're right. You might be slightly on the positive side, but that doesn't look like you're delusional or anything, right? So that's awesome. And then we got this, a lot more people are about to wake up. It has something to do with children. A revelation about children. So I got a feeling whatever's going on that evergreen ship, or in general, just exposing how they travel around. Submarines meet those ships, by the way, and take children from them and move them around, all kinds of crazy things, right? So there's things coming out around children that's gonna bring far more on board with that. It's gonna go way bigger right away here.
So some of the children must be old enough to speak.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, can I say I love you?
Yay. So, yeah.
As you were saying that, I'm not going to say their names on here, but as you were saying that, I got, just as you were talking that through, I got a real revelation of some of the people that the high profile people that are going to be revealed by all this.
Yeah.
And what they're doing. So wow.
That's really good news. I love that. So that's imminent, is it? Is that imminent?
That
And
looks
it's all
like
fitting together, isn't it? Everything you've spoken about again tonight, all the bits of the jigsaw puzzle are really, really fitting together and backing each other up, aren't they?
Did you guys hear the news about Australia's big 9 News getting hacked?
No.
Yeah, so 9 News got hacked for like, it took them about 3 days to get their systems back up and running. They were playing, so instead of their news, there was a monkey or could have been an ape sitting in a chair, like giving out the news. And yeah, it was hacked, and they're blaming it on the Russians and somebody else. It's really funny who they're blaming it on, but it's like I think that was just a little precursor for what. Yeah, Australia was there. That 9 News was shut down for days, and there was several other places hacked, and it was Australia, all in Australia. I was getting all kinds of emails about it from my Australian viewers. You guys didn't hear about that?
No, nothing. I haven't seen that on anything.
Yeah, they literally had to reboot all their systems. They're still it's gonna take time for them just to even, like they're doing all kinds of extra steps just to get the news out, right? But it was basically like making a joke of the news, what they call news.
I love it. I wish
so. That was interesting. Yeah,
I thought that was. That's amazing. I don't know if you've seen them, Janine, but Rachel, you've seen some of my guinea pigs do look a little bit, well, one looks a little bit like Donald Trump and one looks a little bit like Boris. Of course, my guinea pigs are just completely gorgeous and energetically perfect. But wouldn't that be fantastic if we hacked our news and instead of Boris there's a little guinea pig on thinking, and then Matt Hancock could be the weasel. Yeah, he'd be the weasel, although obviously he's not as good looking as a weasel. We could, this would be so good. Oh, it'd be so good. Yeah, we'd have a snake in there for bloody witty, wouldn't we? And but I do think Boris would be a good guinea pig. There's not a lot of difference.
Yeah.
It is the last day of the month as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the 1st. So if Juan O'Savin's been right about stuff,
yeah,
we should see somehow Trump in his place again, out in the open in the public. I mean, that seems pretty far-fetched right this minute, but it's weird though, because he did start a new website and he's calling himself the 45th president of the United States. And you can write him questions, and he made himself really accessible, which is interesting.
Oh, 45.
Yeah.
Because
it's like he never left or something.
The angle of the boat was 45 degrees C, 45 degrees, and also the lorry that was crashed was at 45.
So many things, so many things. And this woman, Mickey Clan, she points out a whole bunch more stuff too. That's just unbelievable.
Wow.
Right, that's my next. That's my evening listening. So. Yeah, God, tomorrow. Oh, should we do a little ceremony later, Rachel? Around the moon.
Dance.
Yeah, dance with the wine. So yeah, so okay. So we've got again, we've seen a huge increase over the last few weeks with the news, the royals in the news. In fact, the Queen supposedly was doing her first in-person visit on something today. Didn't look anything like the Queen to me, but that's a surprise. So again, are we just about to see the royals exposed? So I loved your one on Archie, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that video. That's great.
He always comes up as the King of Cups.
Mm.
So he's a very wise, that child is very old souled. and might have an important role somehow in the future. I don't know. I don't know, but that's probably not the last we're gonna see of Archie. Okay, so King, Page, King, Justice. Oh boy, so that's the overruling card around the royals. So justice, they're facing justice of some kind. This is news gets out. So news gets out. So the next thing that happens, the news gets out that some of these people are facing justice. I think the idea of the tribunals, I think a lot of people have lost hope on that, but I think they're been going on, and I think they're gonna divulge that. That's what I think this means.
Yeah,
And I also think some of them have been taken places that are far away, so over the ocean from where, so they're not even in the vicinity, they're not even in the UK, because this is taken on a journey or taken somewhere safe. And this is somewhere unique and different. So a country that's unique and different. The reason I think of this card that way, it's how it speaks to me, but a lot of readers wouldn't agree with that. It's because I studied on the Thoth deck. And if you look at the 7 of Wands on the Thoth deck, it's about a uniqueness and a place that's exotic or unique. So that's why I go with that meaning for this. So they're taken to an exotic place, safely taken. Like, so they're captured. They're either captured off the earth plane, but we're going to start hearing about it. So yes, it'll come out. This could be 6, so days or weeks.
So similar time scales again.
Yeah, information. It's coming. We're going to hear about it.
Ooh. And on that note, is it possible? Okay, are we moving on to the next one? Sorry.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Lady Diana?
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Because we love her. I think everybody loves her, and I think it would be so lovely if this is how the news came out.
I will just say I'm quite happy to look after the corgis if they need rehoming after all this.
And
Yeah.
they are corgis.
Oh yeah, it's not the corgis' fault.
Well, that's true. Of course not, right? Aces or yeses. Trying to decide when would be the best time to bring her out, because this is like a big victory. So making a victory lap. Wow. Okay, and this, so it's up in the air about when, because there's a few things they're playing around with. When's the right time to let her come back out? Wow, that is wild, because I've channeled her and she never divulged she was still alive. She kept it a secret. So people ask, okay, well, how can you channel somebody if they're not even passed? Well, think about it. If you asked about an ex-boyfriend you wanted to know something about, I could easily channel that ex-boyfriend and get right in his head. You can channel past or present because souls don't die. So channeling is connecting with the soul essence. And I guess there was a really good reason why she didn't want to divulge that. So,
well, she would be in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she did want us to know that she was taken off the earth plane, but that might have been the story of her was taken off the earth plane, and the way her life was taken off the earth plane by the very people that she was a part of. So I'll just say it like that, right? And that came really clear in the channeling. So she wanted to out them. So that's interesting. And we've got the 5. So we've got this in the past. So this is why she was in hiding. So this is my dark cult deep state card. She was in hiding because of that.
Wow. Well, I'm not surprised because she would have been in massive danger. I mean, she was, which is why she obviously had to either fake her death or. Yeah. I mean, I think she's still around, definitely.
I agree with you. And with things like Diana and JFK, whoever it might be, when this shocking news comes out, this would be someone like her would be the thing that would balance everyone and calm everything down again. Because when you have a shock, to then have something so positive to give people to focus on, you know, you can see why they need to wait before they come out until they're really needed to calm that storm, if that makes sense.
It also might
such positivity.
It also might have something to do with giving the UK somebody to look up to, because they just had their whole monarchy smeared.
Well, it's just the whole world is.
People that love the monarchy, they're going to need somebody to go, okay, well, at least we have, or, you know what I mean? It almost looks like they're going to give, like, so people that are calling her Queen Diana, I don't know, there might be something to that. Giving them somebody to replace almost.
I think it is so ingrained in our culture, isn't it? And that, you know, I think this is a thing. I think if you give some massive exposure, you've got to give someone something positive to balance it out, haven't you? And
Yeah.
that would be the ideal time to bring her out. And she's got to wait till the hairdressers are back open as well before she can come out, I would assume.
Right?
So she'll get her roots done. But yeah, oh Diana, we love you, and if you're out there, we can't wait for when it's right for you to come back out.
Wow. She's my age. She was born in 1961.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you're like sisters, really?
Yeah. I was born 2 months premature on May 1st, and my due date was July 1st. So I know that sounds corny, but that's her birthday.
Wow.
Of the same year. But I was born May 1st, and I'm 2 months of preemie. I was 3 pounds 6 ounces.
Wow. I can imagine you couldn't wait.
I just couldn't wait. I'm like,
wait, yeah, get in there, get in.
Let me get started.
It's just, I'm a twin. I'm a twin, and I was meant to be in the positions born second, but I pushed my way out first, so no one's surprised by that. Yeah, so
Could I ask one more question?
Wow.
Could I just ask kind of the energy and what's going on right now in the UK for kind of everybody? What's the general kind of, where are we in the energy sense?
Wheel of Fortune, that's where are we? So that's where you are. So everything's up in the air and about to change. And in a very destined time. So destiny. So nothing we could have done different. It's all, this was all meant to be whatever's happening. So whatever's happening. Oh, and the ace. Wow. Really creative time. Really creative time. Destined, creative, open-hearted. This is going to rip a lot of people's hearts open. Moon. A whole bunch of hidden things in the past that led to. So that ace could also talk about children. So something coming out about children and infants. It's another way you could read that, because there's been hidden things in the past that were hidden from us that are destined to come out and reveal and open everybody's heart and get a lot of people are going to come a lot closer together over this, by the way. So that's interesting. I've noticed that I've made a huge online community that I literally feel friends with, like, maybe that just shows you how disconnected I might be, but but no, I feel friends with you ladies, and I've never met you in person. I feel really good friends with people that email me on a regular basis and give me all these tidbits. I feel so close. I'm in fact, in the summer when the travel opens up again, and I know it will, I'm going on a road trip to the US, because now I'm like, I want to visit Texas.
Yeah.
Sure. And on the way, I'll stop in all these places, and Ashley might come with me. We're going to go on a road trip, and we can't wait. And then I want to visit the UK, and I want to visit Australia, and I want to visit South Africa. Oh my goodness. Right. And according to my chart about now, so in my second Saturn return, which is now, I'm 60 May 1st. So that's my second Saturn returns right now in process. And it says that I would get really into travel.
Wow.
And so I got a feeling I'll just be traveling around, visiting all the places that I have.
Wow. In a red Mustang. Are you
Yes.
in a red Mustang?
Yeah, no masks, and none of that silliness. And we're not gonna have passports either. That is not gonna happen, you guys. Do not think it's gonna happen. You won't get away with it. It's not gonna happen.
No.
Anyway, so you guys are in a good place, even surprising, but there's surprising things coming out that regards children and infants. So I keep saying that, so that's weird, you know, that might be the big reveal thing. That might be so that'll be hard. So there's gonna be a lot of people that have to really get used to all the stuff we know about that. That's gonna be really hard for some people to digest, right? It'll be, yeah, they'll be really angry too.
I'm not surprised.
Really.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah.
But it's taken children in order for all of this to kind of escalate to the point in which it has, and for us even to wake up. I mean, it's been over a year now that I've kind of woken up to the whole, however many rabbit holes you really want to go down. But, you know, it has been the children, and, you know, it should have started with the animals. You know, we shouldn't be doing that, you know, in the sense, because you can look at these places where they do take the animals in order to slaughter them, murder them, or whatever. And, you know, but then, you know,
experiment, you name it. Yeah,
exactly. But then, you know, who are we food for? You know, so there's the other side of it. So there's that kind of mirror side, like, okay, so that's what they're doing to that, you know, then who are we? Who are we?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
It's
wow, that's so exciting. We've been down a lot of rabbit holes, haven't we, Rachel? And I'm looking forward to getting my little Easter bunny outfit on and going down a few more. And Janine, I think in preparation for your travel to the UK, perhaps I should be getting a new dark guinea pig. Perhaps that's a sign.
I think it's a sign.
One your colour. Oh, I have got Dylan. He's magnificent. But I feel a little girlfriend for Dylan in your honour might be coming on. Yeah.
You're gonna need to be a little salt and pepper. I'm getting really.
Yeah. Oh well, yes, exactly. Oh my God,
I'm fully grey.
I love it.
It's beautifully blonde, Rachel.
You did that on purpose, Rachel, because that's very stylish, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I just grew it out, and it just happens to be grey, but it's blonde from a distance. Yeah, no, I'm fashionable now.
Silver, you know, it's just my opinion, but.
Say that again.
Silver is a beautiful color.
Yeah, I love silver. Yeah. Oh my God, Janine, you've made us feel so good as always. I think everyone, and I know for everyone, thank you so much everyone for watching. And I know it's been very UK focused today, but I think this is a sign, you know, we're all connected, and this is a sign of what's happening all across the world. And so, yeah, don't feel left out. We will, you know, answer your questions next time and everything. But this has been really important for everyone. And onwards and upwards, everyone. Here's to the 1st of April tomorrow, and big celebrations. For whatever comes out, celebrate yourself. Whatever comes out, just keep those positive vibes going, and we'll get there.
Send love to the children.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.